I have two different saturation plugins right here that we're going to try. Now the vocal is already mixed, so let me solo the vocal.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love.
So it already sounds good. And what am I trying to get when I pull up saturation? You've heard me say this a couple of times where I'm looking for that edge. That's what I call it. And what that means is adding maybe harmonic distortion or some harmonic content into the vocal that lift the vocal up and push it forward in a mix. It adds some grittiness, some slight aggressiveness, because that's what saturation is. It's not extreme distortion, but just slight. But that slight goes a long way to help you shape the transient on the vocal and just to smooth things out. So the first thing I want to do, I'll play the vocal and then I'll begin to move a lot of these things around. We have the alt tube here, which I'm going to turn on, and that is going to add some low mid, like weight to that vocal, which I think is actually needed. So bypass it and let's play.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up.
That sounds
when
good already.
You call on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for ya forever.
So, I mean, I don't have to say much. You can hear what that is doing by cranking the saturation on here, like way high. Even when I crank it all the way, that could work in the track. And let's hear it.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya.
So that is amazing. So remember, saturation makes it full, it makes it smooth, and that is what this stuff is doing right here. And then you have the pentode and triode, which we haven't tried. I mean, it's currently in, it was about 50%. So this black box is, man, it's really amazing.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya
in
from
solo,
my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us. When you call on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on.
then that's awesome. So if I need to add air in here, these are all the other parameters, right, when you're using this stuff. And then quick notes too, I left this on flat right here. You can switch it to low, which is gonna push and affect more on the low end, and or high. So we've heard this one in the mix, and this sounds, let's actually play with the effect, maybe in solo, and then I'll push it in the mix so you can hear it.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us.
So amazing. Saturation took this right now to The next level looks subtle, but that's what you want to, because that's what I'm going for. In solo, you can hear it more, but when it's blended with the rest of the song, it's just adding that energy and that fullness. So on the same vocal, I would love to try, I'm going to be using the black box more than ever. But Decapitator is my main guy each time. I have tons of saturation plugin, but I always go with the Decapitator on most instruments. All right, so let's dial this in.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us,
That's a nice blend.
When you
Let's change the style.
on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya.
Mr.
Nothing
Neve.
can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever.
So this is the pentode, Triode. Oh, did I just forget that? So that's affecting more on the mid range, on top end, while the pentode is mostly on the low mid. All of these guys really sound good with different character. The EMI is usually the one I use, but it can be too bright sometimes. But when it comes, instead of E, I call it E for energy. That's what it does. So it's pretty tricky. I love what the Triode is doing, which is a harmonic culture vulture. And I love what the Ampex is doing again. Let's hear it. In the mix now, actually.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for you forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for you forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever.
That's good.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation.
So I like the Ampex, right? Which is this. There's a consistency in the low end and also in the mid range. The Ampex just kind of smooth things out. I really like this. And then on here, there are a few things you can do. It has like a low cut, which is great, that you can add some bump. Let's try that.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for ya forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up.
Oh, wow. This is awesome, right? Hope you can hear that. The Neve is doing its thing. So you're now left with different choices. Which one do you want? So you want to always make that decision when you're listening to the track. They all sound good. The Neve really shaves off some of the mid-range, and some of the low mid was elevated as well. So let's hear that in the track.
Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for you forever. Yeah, I'll be there forever. Nothing can separate ya, nothing can separate ya from my love. Nothing in creation, nothing can ever break us
So the EMI seems to do well when you're listening with the rest of the track. Maybe with some of the top end boost that I did here or the tone shift that I made, really made the EMI shine.
Nothing can separate you.
I like
Nothing
it.
can separate you from my love. Nothing in creation. Nothing
Right.
can ever break us up. When you call on me, I will be there for you. Forever.
So this seems to work. So the EMI, I think, really works, and we're gonna have to maybe stick with the EMI on this one. So I hope this was really helpful. Just wanted to show you how to use saturation on vocals. Stay blessed, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.